And I believe that we are live. Thank you guys for joining the SMT. Glad you guys could be here this evening. I'm your host with the mostest, the SMT. If I could, if not so much to ask of you guys, please let me know how the audio and the video is feeding right now. Got a little bit of a change to the setup. Hopefully, all is well and everything is running well. Hey, Sean, good to have you on, buddy. Max, good to have you. Yeah, I'm trying a couple new things here. Did some rewiring, got some new cables. Just changed the setup a little bit. Hopefully, that things kind of work themselves out. As I have had, some technical difficulties from time to time. I've just been trying to work on it and fix it. Give you guys the best experience on the livest Friday night podcast. As you guys are coming in, please like the video. You're doing me a huge favor there. Get it in the YouTube algorithm. And go ahead and say your hellos. Pop in the live chat. Say hi to me. And then if you are watching this on the replay, still go ahead, like this video and say hi in the comment section. Rafi is here. Thank you for being here, buddy. He's got moderating duties. Big Raf in the house. Appreciate you being here, taking care of business. Pete is also in the house. Good to have you on, buddy. Glad you could make it. And he's moderating as well. He might be joining us later. We'll see how that turns out. Again, Sean is in the house. Good to have you on, sir. Max is here. Gary, good to see you, buddy. Glad you can make it tonight. Cheryl, hey, good to have you on. Thanks for stopping by. Benny D is in the house. Tech Boner in the house. Big Mo, what's up? He's in the house. Jarrett's in the house. Mike, thank you for letting me know. Mr. Brackeen. Yeah, Mo, I had to get right. The hair was getting, crazy. Friday the 13th. I didn't want people to think I was Wolfman Jack or any of that nonsense. Luis, good to have you on. Rafi, thanks for the audio and the video check. Aaron, double A, Aaron, good to have you on. Alan Dub, what's happening, buddy? Chris, appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping by. Alan Dub got that iPhone on pre-order. Congratulations, buddy. I hope you enjoy it, man. Looks good. I will be honest with you. I'm not really an iPhone guy. I like what I see. I think it's a good device. If you got the regular 11, I like the price point. I like the feature set. The camera setup looks to be pretty good. I like the idea of having the two sensors, getting a good camera experience, video and audio. I like it a lot. The pricing, again, like I said, much better than it has been in previous generations. So I think a lot of potential there. So hopefully it turns out well and you enjoy your experience. I really hope that they fix the audio issues or the LT issues with the iPhone that we had last generation. A Fine Legion is in the house. What's up, buddy? Been a while, man. Haven't seen you on. Good to have you. Ooh, Carl. Good to have you on, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Mike, I do what I can, man. I follow T-Mobile pretty closely. They're a very active carrier. They're loud, they're boisterous, they got a lot going on. They've got a rowdy CEO. A lot of noise going on with the network, improvements, growth. They're my favorite carrier to follow and to report on. I actually enjoy kind of seeing what they're doing, and I don't even officially have them as a provider yet, but I'm working on that. Chris, good to have you on. Tech Fairy Needs, good to have you on. Glad you could stop by. Yeah, full moon, definitely, Mo. People are probably out there tripping. Pete, I'll be trying it this weekend. I'll be installing the sim tomorrow, so I'll keep you posted on that. Want to got to get some business taken care of here in the chat. I got to do something real quick. Where did it just? Man, sometimes this live chat, man, just moves too fast. Where did it go? I need to get to SV Tej. Hey, we got Jeremy Clifton's in the house. By the way, guys, Jeremy Clifton is now the newest moderator on the SMT. So go ahead and congratulate him on those duties. Thank you for making yourself available to help out with the SMT podcast. Yep, full moon for sure, Mo. It's crazy out there, People are going to be tripping. Again, Tech Fairy Needs, thank you for stopping by. Alex, good to have you on. LG Stylo 5 for $50 on the Metro T-Mobile plan in Missouri. Good deal. Tom DeLong, good to have you on. Todd, glad you could be here, Todd. Made you laugh, Carl? I mean, you're in the live chat, man. We gotta show the love, man. You know how it goes. Alex, to be honest with you, which is better? Uh Metro or T-Mobile? I mean, Metro is just kind of like a watered down, I wouldn't say watered down, but a highly managed version of T-Mobile. So if T-Mobile's good around you, you'll probably enjoy the service, whether it's Metro or T-Mobile. Pete, I'm setting it all up tomorrow, man. It's at the shop. I'll be getting it installed, and I'll be sure to report to you, man. Send over some screenshots and stuff like that, some speed tests. I'll show you what it's all about. In case you guys don't know what Pete's talking about, is he's sending me a T-Mobile SIM card, and I will be installing it and setting it all up tomorrow. Hopefully, it should just read it as soon as I insert it into my phone, and we'll be testing some 5G. If the weather is good, I'll be out there. We'll see what happens. But I got some 5G speed testing to do in Cleveland. Mike says, I'm Sprint, need deliverance. God, man, it's that bad. Tech for your needs. I'm not buying no new phones this year. I'm staying with iPhone 10R. I will say this, Tech for your needs. If you're coming out of last generation's iPhones, these new iPhones aren't really for you, honestly. They're for people coming out of like iPhone 8s. They're for people coming out of 7 Pluses. Definitely coming out of a 6S or a 6S Plus or a 6. You're definitely due for an upgrade if you got one of the older generation iPhones with the older design, that type of thing. But if you've got a 10, a 10S, a 10S Max, I definitely, or even a 10R, I wouldn't be looking to upgrade for sure. That's a good question, Aaron. I wish I had answers for you outside of the fact that we've got it in limited markets. I haven't really heard any new markets receiving T-Vision. All I know is that it's still in that couple of handfuls of markets, and I don't know. We know that they want to do a large scale rollout, but they're pretty busy right now with the merger and stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of the situation. Camden, honestly, like what we got this week was just confirmation. It's not anything new. It's pretty much information that I've reported on the podcast many times. They're kind of like my I guess understanding of the situation, and it's just confirmation of it. It's not really new. It's just, hey, we've been right this whole time in what we've thought. So that being said, I like the chances of the merger because this does seem so bipartisan, and by that I mean the merger's got this clearly Republican side that are very pro, and then this clear Democratic side which is very anti. And I think judges see that, and I think also if a judge takes a look at the situation that we currently have with telecoms and sees that Verizon and AT&T are the only two national networks worth having, and T-Mobile is, while it is growing and while it is getting better, they stand a chance to compete better in 5G with the merger. And of course, with the FCC and the DOJ signing off on it and creating the concessions, they're going to look at that too. So to me, when they say things like, oh, it's 50-50, well, the outcome in court, I think, still could, turn out that T-Mobile does well out of this merger. There's the chance that it doesn't, but if it drags on, I don't like the chances of the merger. That's what I'm saying. If the courts decide and tell the states you need to come to some concessions, make a deal and a settlement, then it's done and over with. And I think T-Mobile wins out of this, and I think consumers win too. Job security for people working at Sprint, obviously there's a lot of risk, but I mean, Sprint's been losing market share and they've been losing jobs for a long time. And who's to say more cuts couldn't be on their way? So I like the chances of the merger, honestly. I think it's better than 50%. In fact, I think it's closer to like 80 to 90%, but that's a personal feeling. Knowing what I know, I have to try to temper the expectations. From what I could tell, though, it looks like it's going to court, and then from there, anything could happen. We got S is for Sheree. Thank you for being here. Glad you could make it tonight. That's right. Markets with unlimited data and the merger. We need like really good coverage. We need very high capacity coverage. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it, buddy. Hey, we got the newest moderator. Thank you for being here, Jeremy, taking care of those duties. You know what, OG King? I agree. I think Verizon is overrated. Their network is good, don't get me wrong, but it has become very congested and it needs to be managed very, very like thoroughly. They just don't have a lot of spectrum. I mean, they've maximized it. Nobody has squeezed the most out of their network holdings more than Verizon. But they still have amazing LTE coverage. Nobody has the capacity that they have relative to their spectrum assets. I think they've done a good job of that. Carl, again, good to have you on, man. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, you're very welcome, man. Thank you. What's up, Matt Dub? Good to have you on. Carl, I'd be curious to see what your issues are with it because you are a native to the Cleveland area. So it'd be interesting. Hopefully that fixes things. Let me know if I'm still good on the feed. What do we got here? T-Mobile is downhill at the moment where I'm from. Max, if you don't mind sharing kind of like your region there. Have a test drive. I'll see what it do. Yeah, report back, Tech Boner. Let me see what that's about. Hey, big shout out to Jeremy Clifton with the super chat. Thank you very much for the kind donation. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Big time contributor, Jeremy. Thanks for supporting the channel. Your consistent donations help production here and support greatly. Again, thank you so much for the support. If you guys are just coming in, just getting into the podcast, by all means, please do like this video and go ahead and say hello in the live chat. We'll get you up here on the banner. What's that promotion there, Paul? Let me know what that's about. Tech for Needs got a free unlimited plan for life. Wow. Wonder how that happened. Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah. Hopefully we get some expanded networks and stuff. No, Carl, I haven't seen that. Kind of a duopoly either way if struck down. Yeah, Mike, I agree. I think it is kind of a duopoly. You've got a very, very strong top two. Our network selection here in the U.S. is very top heavy. If you want good national coverage, you got to go with either AT&T or Verizon. T-Mobile's gotten much better. I would say they've become reasonable nationally, but they still do rely on roaming agreements. And I think, if they can get this merger going, I think they stand to just not really need any type of roaming agreements. Yeah, that's interesting. The Starlink thing is a great idea. They'll never be able to get the latency where they want to be, but the speeds can be there for sure, and the availability. Gary, good to have you on. Man, it's all politics. We know how the merger business goes. Yeah. I mean, that would be ideal if they just got reassigned. It'd be better than losing their jobs. What's up, Paul? Good to have you on. Tito, what's going on, buddy? If the merger doesn't go through, so we're talking worst case scenario, I think Sprint is going to continue to try to find a buyer. Honestly, I don't see that changing. I just don't know who. I actually hear Pittsburgh's pretty good for T-Mobile. I know Sprint's pretty bad, so T-Mobile's definitely an upgrade. I know my Verizon has always been very strong in Pittsburgh. I mean, my Verizon's been really strong everywhere. I'm not going to lie. The LTE availability has always been there. AT&T is good too. I've had them in the past. So, I don't know. Oh, sorry about that, Kev. I don't know. Some connection issues. I'm definitely getting rid of my home internet provider. It's pointless. It's useless. It literally disconnects like every 30 minutes or an hour. It's a pain. Here's James. He says, my opinion is in the theory, yes, the combination does or can create better competition. However, I feel as if T-Mobile will get lax when they're in a better market position. But the thing is they will be in a better market position, but they're still in third. They still have to try to pass a very, very well-off AT&T. Guys, 2020, even with the merger, AT&T is still moving forward. AT&T's best position for 5G. They've got low band on deck. They've got mid-band on deck in sub 6 gigahertz. and they've got millimeter wave. They're completely ready for 5G expansion, way ahead of Verizon, way ahead of T-Mobile and Sprint. Even with the merger, AT&T still positioned to deploy 5G in a much more timely fashion than even a merge T-Mobile and Sprint. Nah, we got it cleared up, hopefully. Oh, man, looking scruffy. Man, it's crazy, Frankie, man, when I don't get my beard game right, when I don't get a good haircut, like, I literally feel less of my face is visual. Like, it just starts to grow like wildfire, man, and I had to get it right, man. Appreciate the kind compliments, though. No service when I'm in BV. Okay. Wow. See, I always like when I think about the coverage in the school building, where I teach and stuff. T-Mobile seems to be okay. They seem good. Verizon's excellent. The tower is real close. AT&T is excellent too. The problem is Sprint. It's always in 3G in the school and stuff. So I don't know. I have seen issues in and around the area. Hey, Tech Free Needs, take care of yourself, man. Good to have you on. Hey, we got something to say. He always appreciates it. Nintendo 504 is in the house. Or the Hosu. I don't know what it says there. I'm guessing house. All right, here we go. OG King says, if I trade in my iPhone XR into T-Mobile, will I get the 11 for free? I don't think so. I don't know what they'd give you on trade-in. I wouldn't trade it in. I love the iPhone XR. That was my favorite iPhone from last year, actually. Big Chungus says, if Sprint and T-Mobile were to merge, wouldn't speeds be slower? Temporarily, they might be. Only in transitioning the networks and integrating them. But I really do feel like Neville can figure that out pretty quick. You may see it for a little bit where performance kind of drops off. But I think within, a few months, that kind of works itself out. And I think Neville's the guy to do it, Tech Boner, I don't think it's going to be a situation where Sprint's gone. I still think they're going to be looking for a buyout if the merger doesn't work out. They're just going to be looking for the next deal. Maybe it becomes something with, Dish. Maybe it becomes something with Charter or some other company. Who knows? But I would say that Charter and Comcast kind of throw them out because they look to be just trying to do their whole MVNO thing. Half price on the phone with trade. That's pretty good. What's up, Kev? Good to have you on. Steve Sanchez, long time no see. Good to have you on, man. I think the last time I saw you, maybe a couple weeks on the podcast. Maybe I missed you last week. Hey, from San Diego. I like San Diego, man. Beautiful town. Yeah, Carl. So what I'm doing is, well, actually, no. So I'm using my laptop right now, so I'm going wireless. What I'm going to do once I get the basement finished and I got my office hooked up, I'll have everything run through Ethernet. I've actually got a dedicated Ethernet gateway in my basement where I'm going to set up the studio. I'll get all my lighting done, the acoustics. The basement's going to be fly. You guys are going to like the studio. I'm going to do lighting, the whole thing, and I'll have all that taken care of. I'm going to go hardwire, screw the wireless business. I've learned that wireless is just set up to have glitches. Homeless to homeowner. Yeah, basically. Yeah. I hear T-Mobile's good in a lot of places. They're competitive. The only thing that T-Mobile needs is more national coverage. They need to get, coverage in, rural areas and more expanded regions of the nation where, there's just not a lot of coverage. And that's what band 71 is for. That 600 megahertz can really do a lot. And then throw in what they would be getting from, Sprint, and it would really take off for them. Yeah, I figured Nintendo 504. I figured, man. No, Brian, this is horrible. That's a terrible idea. That's the last thing we want. We do not want Verizon getting stronger. We want Verizon to deal with the pain of not having enough spectrum. We want them to feel that pinch, force them into doing something they normally wouldn't do, which is finding ways to survive. Verizon's never had to survive. Verizon has always been ahead between them and AT&T. And I do not want to see them get anything from Sprint or this merger from that much. Oh, God. Rafi, could you imagine my studio having a bunch of disco lights? Be like a party throwing some music. I literally feel like when I was celebrating the 5,000 subscriber count, I remember when Michael was putting out all those songs and all that. That was pretty funny. Taking T-Mobile on a road trip this weekend to the Razorback game Map looks good, but we will see. Tony, please report back. Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, a lot of these central states in the U.S. I'd love to get reports on how they're doing out there. I know that T-Mobile bought iWireless, which gives them great coverage in Iowa. So wouldn't be surprised if Iowa's all set, but Arkansas would be interesting. Please do report back. What's up, Greg? Good to have you on. Let's see here. Yeah, Rafi, thanks for the reminder. If you are just getting in, please do like this video and make sure you pop into the live chat. Do say your hellos. I'll acknowledge you. I'll put your message on the board there. And if you'd like to make a donation to support production here on the channel, please, by all means, don't be bashful. Send over a super chat. Let me know that you appreciate the content. And you can also send a PayPal donation, as Jeremy, so kindly always does. Thank you, Jeremy, as well for that donation. So good to have you on, Gregory. No problem, buddy. All right, Carl says, why do old Samsungs take so long to charge? Carl, something is definitely wrong with that Samsung. Unless you're charging wirelessly, most Galaxy devices should be charging to full in under 2 hours. In most cases, probably like an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40 minutes. In fact, most of the time, they've got quick charge enabled. So I wouldn't be surprised if you were getting, an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes to that full charge. Yeah, I can tell you right now, Pete, he took his T-Mobile SIM with him. I think it was Google Pixel 3 XL, and he said it was awesome on his trip. And he went pretty much from coast to coast. He went from, Rocky Mountain region all the way to the East Coast. So, yeah, he's got nothing but good things to say about T-Mobile. Drove from Florida to California, only encountered a few dead spots. That's really good to hear, James. Really good to hear. I like to hear it when our markets, are full of choices and options nationally. I say if the merger has to happen, let Dish hit the ground running, remove the shackles they have now, 3-year waiting period, let whether it's cable or Amazon back Dish. Well, I think eventually, James, it might happen. Maybe not outside of, inside that 3-year window, but who's to say 4 or 5 years from now? I think that's what the FCC is trying to do, though. They're trying to hold Dish to some accountability, which is something they haven't done up to this point. All right, Sprint is good in Washington State. Good to know. Out in the Pacific Northwest. Steve says Verizon would keep costs high if they bought Sprint, but should have the best 5G ever. Yeah, I mean, that's a complete hypothetical, right? Like if they had Sprint's 2.5 gigahertz, I mean, it would be absurd. Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right? Like if you're going to be connected, you're on the turnpike the whole time while driving, have that coverage. Tito, do you forget how to use your phone or I don't know if you're watching on a laptop or computer or whatever. Jay Owens is in the house. If Neville had Verizon Spectrum to work with, T-Mobile would have the best network, hands down. Verizon does not make the best of what they have. Actually, I disagree, Jay Owens. I think Verizon is actually doing the best that they can. I think they've kind of exhausted all they can do with their Spectrum holdings. They need more. It's not that they're not doing enough with it. It's that they just need more of it. So I actually respectfully disagree with your opinion. Neville is a very good network engineer. I'm not saying he's not. I just don't see the side where you're saying Verizon's not doing enough with what they have. I actually think they are. And I think if Neville was, it's the same thing. I mean, yeah, but think about it. Neville is building or operating a network with 84 million people on it. Verizon is almost doubling that. They've got 140 million people. Rural Eastern Oklahoma gets 25% Sprint 7. Wow. Okay. Arkansas has been predominantly Verizon. Yeah. I remember Alltel. I had Alltel. They dominated Ohio, and then Verizon bought them out. If anybody's looking to try the Visible service, I'm not sponsored in any way. They don't pay me. I'm not an affiliate. I've just tried the service, and I've reviewed it, and I like it. So I promote it in that I offer you this referral code. That one you see right there on the screen. That referral code will actually save you $20. Okay, so Rafi's got it right there in the chat. There's all types of referral codes. I'm not even sure if that's my referral code. That might be somebody else's. I don't know whose that is. It might be mine. It might not be. I don't really care. If you're going to try the service, go ahead, use those referral codes, save yourself $20. And I recommend trying the service first from Visible. Don't, port your number right away. Try it on a separate line, get it in another device. Maybe you got a dual SIM phone or something like that, or you could do eSIM, whatever the case may be. Try it first. It's $20 with the referral code. It's worth a shot. You like it, you keep it. If you like it, you want to port your number, you do that. If you don't like it, then move on from it. But it's $20 for unlimited data, unlimited hotspot, unlimited everything. With Metro, sometimes I would get speeds less than 0.8 megabits per second. That's a very, very sad day. Very bad. No, South Dakota. I mean, Pete, who's getting good coverage in South Dakota, man? I mean, what's up, Ronald? Good to have you on, man. Ooh, Kevin says my Note 5 still charges in 1.5 hours. That is a great phone, man. You know what, Frankie? I'm going to go ahead and install the SIM tomorrow. If the weather permits, I'll try maybe to get out there and do some speed testing, post some screenshots, maybe do a video on the T-Mobile 5G. So we do have it here in Cleveland. I am going to check it out. I'll keep you posted. The Discord will probably get, some of those speed tests first. I'll post some of the screenshots, and then I'll probably make a video in the next couple of days. So I'll definitely keep you posted. Let's see here. Jeremy says the test drive did answer a lot of questions about their network. I'm glad I was able to try it out. Speed-wise, you probably didn't get everything you were looking for there. I'm sure, Jeremy, probably wasn't that great. But at least you get to see the LTE availability, so that's good. Alan Dub says, traveled to Arkansas many times in 17, made a decent footprint, but Verizon and AT&T still dominate. Yeah, they sure do. I will tell you this, Gary. Quick charge, whether it's 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, whatever, it is fantastic. Me personally, I don't have access to a device with quick charge. Everything that I do is power delivery, so it's all through USB-C, that charging standard. I don't know if it's as fast as quick charge, but I like it. It's pretty good. I'm satisfied. 30 minutes gets me like a 45% charge, or not even. It's like 20 minutes gets me like a 40% charge. AT&T and Verizon have the upper hand. They sure do. I don't know if it's Gary or Gary. Is the merge going to happen? I don't know. We'll see. As of right now, a lot of people say it's up in the air. If you ask me, I like the chances of the merger. I have faith in the court systems that they'll see things that, we can't just allow AT&T and Verizon to continue to dominate a market and get in the way of, Sprint and T-Mobile becoming a viable third player that could provide a better network for consumers. See, everybody gets caught up in pricing. Don't get me wrong, guys. Pricing is important in the marketplace, but so are national options, and so are features, and so is 5G. And the next generation, it's going to be about this. So me personally, I'm more on the innovative side. That's what I want to see. The pricing to me is like second place. I know to everybody, pricing is probably number one, but I want to see innovation. I want to see features. I want to see more from the network providers, not just pricing. If my bill on my cell phone bill went up, 5 to 10%, but my features became better, like upload speeds and ping and network coverage and 5G and, all these different things I could do, unlimited hotspot. If that stuff was made available and I wasn't getting throttled for video, I don't care if my bill goes up 5% or 10%. I really don't. If my service gets better, bring it on. I'm cool with it. Yeah, good question, Steve. Anybody out there pre-ordered either the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, or 11 Pro Max? Very bad naming, actually. What would happen to TV if AT&T waters Direct TV? I don't know. I mean, we've got plenty of TV options, honestly. Let's see here. What's going on, Heath? Good to have you on, man. All right, so Pete's got a referral. Everybody check out that referral code. It's in the live chat. Check it out. Save yourself $20. DirecTV removing the ABC network in the Chicago area? No way. Huh. Yeah, it's okay. Let Pete get those referrals. That's okay. I love the idea of eSIM, really. Adiko, what's going on, bro? Discord gang in the house. Big shout out. Thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate you being here. Regular SIM too. It's nice having that option. It's a good phone. Good phone. I mean, we could talk about anything. This is the SMT podcast. We do whatever the SMT nation wants. Really. What's up, K Deuce? Good to have you on. Ricky Florida Keys. Glad you liked the video earlier, man. Glad you enjoyed it. I do PD charging as well with my 10S Max. So does my wife. So my wife, what I got her the 29 watt Apple charger with the USB-C to Lightning port cable. And that has been like a godsend for her. She has been so happy with that charging method. She's getting like 50% in like 28 minutes or something, which she's thrilled because she was using that junky $2 1.5 watt charger that Apple puts in the box of all their phones. Then they want to sell you the super expensive ones. Tape a phone on your forehead, go live with the T-Mobile speed test. Oh, man, I think my brother has a GoPro, actually. I think he could put on his helmet. Michael says, why do you think T-Mobile forces you to put a huge down payment on the regular device of good credit? AT&T and Verizon have lower or zero down, only pay tax on device. So the thing there is, Michael, is the credit line that T-Mobile has, I don't know, whoever their banking is on that, they can only afford you like $750 in finance credits. You got to put down on the rest of it. It sucks, but it's part of T-Mobile's situation. They're unable to kind of operate the business side without, it kind of being like that. And I'm okay with that. I'm not a big fan of it, but like I understand it from the business side, Jarrett, what's going on, buddy? Feel like Letitia James on a power trip. She has no intention of trying to work out a deal. It's all true. That is 100% true. I agree with you. I think that's true. Ellen Dubb says, noticing T-Mobile putting towers too far apart over AT&T and Verizon, lying about coverage and saying they cover you. Maybe they're not lying. Maybe they're just using different devices. Alan, I don't know which phone you're using, but I could tell you right now, if you're coming out of an iPhone performance when it comes to LTE and Wi-Fi is not as good as the Qualcomm chips and the reception that Androids are having these days. My wife has an iPhone XS Max. I have, different Androids. I've got a Google phone. I have a OnePlus 6T. I'm using an LG V50 ThinQ, and my signal is stronger. My speeds are faster, and it's because they're using LTE and Intel chips. So I would double check those maps with an Android phone and see if you're still seeing those coverage gaps. Paul says, what will the merger do to current Sprint users? You would eventually become a T-Mobile user. Yeah, Paul, we're live, buddy. We are live. Maybe we should start a petition. This merger is one of the best things for mobile phone community. James, if you want, you can reach out to Letitia James. You can email her. It's just like writing her a letter, and go ahead and voice your displeasure of what they got going on there. Billy, what's going on? Glad you could be here. Thank you for stopping by. Jim says, I will have to leave T-Mobile if they don't merge. My Spirit service was better close to home. T-Mobile was great all over the island in Hawaii. Okay, well, that's good to know. Thanks for letting us know. Thank you for the comment. All right, Sean's got the Midnight Green. I'm going to have to check out that color. That sounds pretty cool. 256 gig Pro Max Series 5 stainless black watch. I kind of like the deal on the Series 3 at $200 if you're looking for a wearable. That color of that phone actually intrigues me. Big shout out to Rafi in the chat. If you're looking to try Visible Service, get a $20 discount. Use that referral code. Save some money. What do I think about using 160 gigs with AT&T prepaid in less than a month? It's the best that I have ever had. So you've got unlimited on the prepaid, hopefully. 160 gigs is crazy. I do that on postpaid sometimes, but not really recently. I've been on Wi-Fi quite a bit recently. All right, Gary, got the iPhone XR. Sweet. Metro is throttling me, and I'm not on slow data. What should I do? Sounds to me, Heath, honestly, like our expectations for some of the prepaid carriers, I think we have to temper them. For example, you've got Metro, right? Metro is a fine service. There's nothing wrong with it, but we can't expect postpaid performance on a prepaid network. And I'm not telling you not to have expectations. I'm just saying whenever we use prepaid service, just kind of be mindful of that. Like I've got a Verizon postpaid line and I have a Verizon Visible prepaid line. My expectations for the two are very different. I mean, I look at it that way, and it kind of is a reminder that, we shouldn't expect too much from a prepaid carrier if we're paying less than the postpaid. You know what I mean? Blaine, what's going on? Good to have you on. I think it's going to take the president getting involved in order for the merger. He really cannot. Sorry, man. He can't do anything, and I think that's why he's been standing back on this. Pete says, I think video on T-Mobile is deprioritized, but if there is no congestion, you have no issues with 1080p. And that's the way it should be, Pete. I really, really believe that, and that's awesome that that's how T-Mobile does it. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, Deka. That is nuts, man. That's a lot of data. 1080p in congested areas. I've noticed that AT&T does a good job of video and keeping the quality up. Sean, you haven't owned an iPhone in years. I'd be curious to what you've been rolling with, man. We'll see like what you can expect if you're really upgrading, Mike says, I think that all the attorneys general that are doing the lawsuit against the merger must live in areas with good coverage. None of them have T-Mobile or Sprint and wish it's better. I think you're onto something. I think a lot of the people that automatically just say things like this is bad or they shouldn't be allowed to merge or it's going to ruin the market. Well, if you can get past Verizon. Well, first of all, New York is Verizon country, and AT&T does not want to see stronger T-Mobile. They really don't. They lost a lot of business for them, actually, dating back several years. All right, I got it, Gary. You got the iPhone XR. Sweet, man. All right, favorite thing about iOS 13? I'm not too familiar with the features from iOS 13. Honestly, I don't really like iOS that much. I mean, I like it. It works well. It's very fluid. The user experience is really nice. The one thing I will say is that I like iOS better now, dating back to iOS 12. I like it better now than I have in years past. Part of the reason why I've never had an Apple device, I never liked the user experience. But I like it more today from the last generation than probably with 13 than I have in the past. But I'll have to look into it. I'm actually thinking about getting an iPhone and seeing if it's worth, maybe owning one. I just, I really do like my Google phones. I love the cameras. I like the video performance. All my production here on the channel is done on a Google phone. I really do like the software. Big shout out to Paul Boyd, his donation to the channel. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Thank you again. Yeah, big shout out to Paul. Thank you so much for that. Kevin says $750 on a $1,100 device, and then they bail on the business. It's all about business need. Galaxy Note 10 or S10 Plus are the bomb phones. I like those phones too. I do. I actually like the S10 Plus better than I like the Note 10. I do like the Note 10 Plus. So I'm with you there. Hey, no problem, Alan. No problem. When is Sprint getting eSIM? Couldn't tell you, man. I don't know. It's hard to say with Sprint. I mean, Sprint's just getting voice over LTE going, so they always seem to kind of be behind. Yeah, Blaine, we can see, man. Is AT&T is going to get a surcharge? Frankie, what's going on? We got a comment here. In the case the merger takes a turn that the courts decide more concessions are in order and Deutsche Telekom walks away, I'd like to see Amazon buy Sprint from SoftBank, marry up with Dish. I like that idea too, Frankie. I honestly, guys, truth be told, I know we talk about T-Mobile all the time. Just please, I need a minute, all right? Just give me your attention. Stop whatever you're doing and listen to me. I do not want to see Sprint go away. I wanted Sprint to succeed. I have been rooting for Sprint for years, but they have failed us. Sprint has failed us nationally. Sprint has not done enough to compete with T-Mobile. They've lost all their customers to T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T. So don't get mad at me and my videos when I say things like I want the merger to happen. It's because I don't want to see all of the riches from Sprint go to Verizon and AT&T. I would rather them go to T-Mobile. I do not want to see Verizon get all that spectrum from Sprint. And I would prefer to see Dish become a viable fourth carrier than nobody else. So I always think, like, what's the worst case scenario? Guys, I want Sprint to succeed, but they have shown that they cannot. So the next best option is the resources of Sprint going to a company that I can tolerate and that treats their customers well, which is T-Mobile. Because Verizon doesn't, and AT&T for sure does not. That's the way I'm looking at it. All right, so that's where I'm at with it. I wanted Sprint to succeed, but they just have not shown the ability to do that. They've been nothing but, playing from behind for the last 6, 7, 8 years with LTE. You know what, Gary? I don't think you should upgrade. If you got a 10R, I say ride out with it. The iPhone 11 is not going to be much of an upgrade. I mean, unless you really want a second camera, that could really be the only reason. And if you're financing your phone, you're only halfway through. So what's the rush? Well, I mean, comparatively, it's always good to upgrade. What company offers the best LTE iPhone plan for the average consumer? It's Verizon. Verizon, AT&T. If you're talking national coverage, if you don't travel, then you just use whoever's got the best coverage in your city or your region. If you're a traveler, AT&T and Verizon seem to be the way to go. T-Mobile's gotten better, especially if you live in an area where T-Mobile is good, then you might want to consider trying that. That's pretty good. Wow, I've never heard of speed tests on Metro that good. All right, guys, we are 42 minutes into the live stream of the podcast. If you could, please go ahead and hit that like button. Help the video get out there into the algorithm. And make sure you do come in and say your hellos in the live chat. Say what's up to the SMT and the SMT Nation. Good stuff. This podcast is being brought to you by the fine folks that provide the SMT's household with clean drinking water. Thank you so much for that. Michael, good question, actually. Wonder if getting the iPhone 11 Pro would make the signal better on both Wi-Fi and LTE and Wi-Fi. The answer is yes. From what I understand, Intel has addressed the LTE, Wi-Fi, and the different connection issues. So if you are coming out of a phone that you really can't stand the LTE speeds and the Wi-Fi connections, you might want to consider trading in, trading up, and getting yourself one of the newer iPhones. The connection issues should be relieved. You can ask questions right here in the live chat. Freaky giraffes. What up? Hideka, when I had Metro, I would always get piss poor speeds almost everywhere here in Dallas. Well, that's probably why you had to switch, man. And I think you did a good decision by getting AT&T because their service in that area is very good. I mean, Dallas does have AT&T Stadium, don't they? All right, so Nick's got an opinion. iOS not as good as Android 10. I like Android 10. I can't say, for sure. I haven't really tried iOS too much lately. Lavendi, good to have you on, man. Glad you could stop by. Big commenter on the channel. Baltimore, D.C., Maryland speeds were horrendous in North Virginia and T-Mobile. Jeez, man. I know those areas can be a little spotty. So, see, that's where AT&T and Verizon bank, in those areas. I like the 10R, Jason. I wouldn't feel rushed to have to, update. What's up, Obed? Good to have you on. AT&T would be scared of the... Yes, absolutely. AT&T is intimidated by T-Mobile right now in terms of potential. But in terms of currently where they're at, then, probably not. But, the potential is there. Blaine says, see if the federal government nationalized all the cell towers and fiber optic networks and the copper networks, this stuff would not be an issue. You're very right. Actually, if everybody had fiber in and around their cities, in their neighborhoods, at their schools, at their businesses, we probably wouldn't rely so heavily upon wireless. And we've become very mobile. We're a very mobile society, very wireless based. Everything is Wi-Fi and everything is wireless and stuff like that. We love our LTE. We really do. Sean says, right now I have the Huawei Mate 20X. I hear that's a really good phone. Had the P30 Pro before that. You You can understand why I'm looking towards Apple. I do not like Samsung phones. Well, I would say that the Huawei phones are probably the closest thing to like if an iPhone user wanted an Android because of like design and stuff like that. But Sean, I would definitely consider a Google phone, man. Like if you like a good camera, I mean, you can't really beat a Google phone, especially if it's still shots. Maybe video, it's not great. I mean, it's very good, but I mean, seriously, man, Google phones take great shots and Huawei's do too. I get it, Jason, I got you, bro. I get it. You got the 10R. Oh man, Gary, I don't know, man. He's not getting involved with the merger. I know that. He really hasn't. Jason, like this is the 7th time you put that in there. Is everything okay? Just keep hitting copy and paste, man. Lavendi says I'm testing a Note 10 Plus. I'm not feeling Android. Thought things would have gotten better by now, but no go. Lavendi, to be honest with you, take my advice. If you want to try Android, get a OnePlus device or get a Google phone. You don't buy a Samsung device if you're trying to get into Android. You buy a Samsung device if you know and like Samsung. So honestly, I think you went the wrong way. If I were you, I would be looking at the new Google phones or I'd be looking at a new OnePlus device. That's what I would be doing if I was trying to test Android. Would not be going with a Galaxy. Freaky Giraffes, I don't own any stock in any wireless carriers. Do I recommend investing in T-Mobile? Yeah, I like T-Mobile. Guys, T-Mobile has shown a propensity for growth, and they've got a lot of traction. So investing in them makes a lot of sense. And actually, if you're looking for a market gain, Sprint makes the most sense because right now the stock's going to be low, and it only can go up from here. Apple is going to go bankrupt. Come on, man. It's $1 trillion company. Like, how? Officials worried about Sprint and T-Mobile controlling the wireless game? How is... No way. They're third, even combined. Right? They're third. Why does AT&T and T-Mobile not really support online gaming? You get a Nat 3 with them. I don't know. That's strange. Good question, Jeremy. Why wouldn't they support it? Selling the hardware for it. What will be the fallback for Verizon when they shut down 3G? It's a good question. It's either going to be 1X or LTE. I like Sprint before they bought Nextel. Me too. Who owns Sprint now? SoftBank. Parent company is Japanese conglomerate, SoftBank. All right, Mike says, on a personal level, I love Androids, but because there's so much user control, as a speech therapist, iPhone gives us more educational assistive technology software with Android software second. Yeah, and in your situation, Mike, you go with what works for you. Can't be mad at you for that. What's up, Jarrett? You think AT&T or Verizon could be financially supporting the states? Man, I really don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but I mean, it would make sense, honestly, at this point. Berkey says, I'd like to see T-Mobile come to Canada. Me too, man. Me too. Their situation, again, 3 carriers, minimal competition. You guys just got unlimited data very recently, so I feel for you. More competition would be great. Blaine says, if we had national broadband network, then we wouldn't be having these problems. Yeah, it's true. What's up, King Ramsey? Good to have you on, man. Thanks for stopping by, bud. What's the difference, Gary says, between the iPhone XR or the 11? Not much. The iPhone XR has 2 rear-facing cameras instead of just 1. So something tells me camera performance might be better. You might get some new features. It might be worth it for you to consider. I don't know. I just don't see it, because the XR is a good phone. And it came in at $749. The new 11's about $699. They're probably going to be really similar. King Ramsey, thank you for watching, man. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Hopefully you like all the videos. Hit that like button. You think so? Huh? Well, 2Phone General, good to have you on, man. Thanks for stopping by. Sprint workers poorly trained had to return to do so at the Sprint store. Worker called their manager. Well, yeah, that's like a systems problem, right? A training problem. Jeez, man. That's unacceptable right there. Can't speak English in a nation where they're serving people of native English speaking, you know? Samsung will get Android 10 November 2020. They do have problems getting updated, man. They're really slow to do that. Apple 5, 7, 8 are great upgrades to the 11. My T-Mobile good in Philadelphia. Philly in the house, Broad Street. Daka says, I wanted the Huawei Mate 20X, but it's lacking important bands for AT&T. So who is the Huawei Mate 20X going to work well on? Is it more of a T-Mobile phone? Because it's definitely not going to be a Verizon phone. Something tells me it'll be lacking a lot of those bands as well. Frankie, thank you for bringing us back to Earth, my friend. Spoiled rotten to the core in technology. So true, man. We sit here and complain about 20 and 30 megabits per second. And I watch this guy on YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's in Lebanon. And he's like, man, it took me 2 days to upload this video to YouTube, which is terrible, man. I can upload over LTE to YouTube in like 2 minutes, which is crazy. Nick says, I'll never get an iPhone again. I can't give up using custom ROMs on the OnePlus 7 Pro. That's probably a good situation. I like the OnePlus devices, man. Me too, Two-phone general. I like it as well. Like if you got a cable provider for a broadband, that's all you get. Well, I mean, you need wireless, right? What's up, Naito NYC? What's happening? I know, right? He kept on letting us know. Best MVNO on AT&T. Unlimited plan. Best MVNO on AT&T. Doesn't Smart does Total Wireless do AT&T Unlimited? I don't know if anybody out there in the live, if you're using an unlimited MVNO of AT&T, let me know if that's working out for you. See what Alan can do there as an option. Hideka says $85 unlimited from AT&T prepaid proper. That could be an option. Ray's Mobile Carrier News in the house. Big shout out to Ray's Mobile Carrier News. Check out his channel, Ray's Mobile Carrier News. He's got some interesting stuff on there. Got some good videos. He actually does like a tower tour. It's pretty cool. So big shout out that way. iPhone XR is a good phone. A lot of YouTube videos about Apple going bankrupt. Whatever, man. It's not that I don't believe you, Nick. I just don't believe them. They're just trying to make videos. That's completely speculative. That is a successful company. And if they're so at risk of going bankrupt, they're doing the most in devices. They're selling more than Samsung here in the US, and that's their most important market. Yeah, I get it. They're not winning China, and they're definitely not winning India. But I mean, they're successful and they're profitable. They're making money. I don't see how they could be going bankrupt. I don't know where this is coming from, but, you know. All right, so Alan's looking for something a little bit cheaper than 85. Brian says iPhone LTE and Wi-Fi problems traveling in the U.S. on Sprint. Yeah, I would assume that's going to be a problem. Right now they have the $15 auto pay, so that brings it down to 70. Dika. All right. What's up, Sean? I've used iPhones from the 4S to the 8 Plus. I know I like them. I got the Huawei Kick for a while. I have the iPad Pro, MacBook Pro. Yeah, you're probably going to be relieved to get back into an iPhone, actually. Alan Dub says, I want to see prepaid and MVNOs offer eSIM support. I wonder how many do. I mean, that would be huge because then people could activate on the fly even as they travel, which would be awesome. I get Net 2 on my iPhone XS Max hotspot. Okay. Kevin says the best CEO in the business, John Leisure. Dumb and Dumber is scared of the new T-Mobile. He's a fine CEO, Kevin. I mean, honestly, he's just the loudest CEO. I wouldn't say he's the best. He's a good CEO. But I mean, you have to look at a company for what it's worth. Do you think he made T-Mobile or do you think T-Mobile made him? Or do you think it's both? Because if you're going to tell me that he made T-Mobile by himself, I'd say you're wrong, Kevin. And you could check out my video on that. I just uploaded it today. I like John. I like his customer core values. He's a little loud for me. He's also a little rambunctious. I think he needs Ritalin. as a joke. He's kind of wacky, and I don't know. You like your CEO to have some more composure, but I do love his business ideas when it comes to customer care. I think that's the best qualities he offers. He does focus on celebrating his company and his customers, which is great. Marco says, you think the iPhone 11 will depreciate quick once the iPhone 12? Oh, man. So here's the situation, guys. When you buy a phone, this is just wisdom from the SMT. When you buy a smartphone, it's like a car. It's not an investment. When you buy a phone, it's a device that you're using to facilitate your productivity. Therefore, you cannot expect to make money on a phone. The minute you buy it and use it, it depreciates in value, probably a couple $100, if not more. By the time you're done using it after a year or two, it's depreciated 60 to 70%. iPhones seem to hold the best value. So I would tell you, Marco, you're probably going to get the best value by getting an iPhone over an Android. Androids just don't seem to hold up value. So in my opinion, if you're going to spend $700 on an iPhone 11, I wouldn't expect more than maybe 450 in about a year. I wouldn't expect it because it is going to be an entry-level iPhone or the basic iPhone. I don't know. Just it depends what your expectations are if you think that's fair. Freaky Giraffes, glad you could make it, man. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel. You're very welcome, and thank you for the kind words. Much appreciated. Yeah, that would be good to know if they've got the eSIM. Jarrett says SpaceX is supposed to begin their internet from space next year. Speeds between 100 and 300 megabits per second. I like the sound of that. Another option. Let's see what we got going on here. Matt Dubb with the super chat. Thank you for the kind donation. He sent over a PayPal super chat. Thank you so much for that. So just as an update, Jeremy, Matt Dubb, thank you guys for those contributions on the PayPal side. Thank you for supporting production here on the channel. Much appreciated, guys. Thank you again. Gary says, I have Sprint, but the service is not that good. So, Gary, your options really, if you're trying to keep same pricing, your options are probably something like T-Mobile. If they've got good coverage, that's what you should try. After that, you're probably looking at AT&T or Verizon, right? I mean, I just don't see it being anything else that would work for you. Let's see what else is going on here. Sorry, guys, just charging up my devices here before I go off to bed when I get off the live here. John Leisure needs to retrain the Sprint customer service. You're so right. I think a lot of them are going to be let go, honestly. Inevitable. How much do you think the Pixel 4 will cost? Good question, Heath. I'm considering getting the Pixel 4. I wonder if they're going to come in at like $799, man. And it's not going to sell. The Pixel 4 will not sell at $799. It just won't. After seeing what the iPhone 11 is doing at $699, I'd love to see the Google Pixel come in at $699. If not $649, which was the first OG Pixel price. We'll see, man. It's interesting. The Pixel 4 XL, I think, is going to come in at like $849 or something crazy like that. Hope they don't think they're getting $1,000. We'll see. iPhone 11 has 4x4 MIMO. The iPhone XR does not. Oh, that's good to know, Jarrett. That may make a difference in performance for some people. So thank you for that tidbit of information. Lebanon is not a free country. That is why internet is so bad there. What? It's not it doesn't have good internet because they don't have good infrastructure. It's not relevant. I don't even know what a free country means. Had the 10R, hated it, continue using my 8. Okay, interesting. What's the best way to support the merger? The best way to support the merger is to contact your state attorney general and reach out to them and see if they are in support of the merger. Let them know that you are. And also go ahead and send a letter to Letitia James of the New York State Attorney General Office. Let her know that she needs to get out of the way of the merger if you are pro-merger. because she's definitely in the way. Kevin says, I thought that Chinese Huawei was not going to be available in the U.S. because they were allegedly spying on people. Kevin, honestly, I truly believe this. I think it's all lies. I think it's just an American policy ploy to, go into a tariff tax war with China, which is perfectly fine. You could tax the crap out of them. I'm okay with that too. But call it like it is. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to work around the truth. You know what I mean? And they'll continue to do business. I don't know. It's kind of a messed up situation. Oh, Total Wireless is Verizon. I thought it was choose your carrier or something like that, honestly. What do I prefer, the old textured iOS or the sleek and modern post iOS 7? I like the sleek and modern post iOS 7 personally. I do. I'm of the belief that new iOSs always end up being better. Sometimes we just need to get used to their features, but they always do end up better. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't believe that they're going bankrupt. No way. Wing Alpha says Nido NYC. Apple should go bankrupt by 2070. I mean, that's a pretty good run if they went bankrupt in 70 years. Right? So or no, they've been around since the 1980s, right? All right. Got some shout outs to the channels. Nick, Xiaomi and OnePlus are winning in India. They really are. They really are. Straight Talk. Oh, that's the one. John's touchpad. That's the one. All right. Yeah, big shout out to everybody that's watching this in the live. Go ahead and make sure you like the video. Do me that favor. And go ahead and come in if you're just getting into the live chat. Go ahead and drop me a hello. Say hi there. And we'll acknowledge that you're here. Thank you for joining us. How does Visible compare to T-Mobile? Jim, coverage-wise, like LTE availability-wise, it's awesome. Probably actually more LTE than T-Mobile. You might not get the speeds that you get on T-Mobile, though, honestly. Cricket Wireless 55 for unlimited. Shaw D, the problem with that 55 unlimited plan is it's heavily throttled in speed. So just be mindful of that. Like, you can get the unlimited data, but it is going to be a little bit slower. The Rogue phone sounds, I think it's Rogue, right? Or is it ROG? I forget what it's called. Whatever. I do like the potential in that phone. I'm not a gamer, honestly, but I do like the niche that it's going to fulfill. I like the option of giving gamers that type of a device. Capped at 480p, I figured. Okay, Steve Q says T-Mobile Sprint merger will end up the rise of Apple. I think Apple will create their own cell phone company. I have to disagree with you there, Steve. I don't think that happens. It just seems so far-fetched. Not that it's impossible. I just think highly unlikely, personally. You ain't lying, Ronald. He knows his stuff, man. Seriously, nobody knows AT&T like him. How do I save the most battery on my iPhone XR? Brightness, keeping it down. Minimizing notifications. That's another one. And keeping the phone from getting hot. Those are probably the best advice I can give you. And then managing your apps. Not always just closing them all the time. I will say this about iOS. Apple phones that run iOS, they are great at managing RAM management, app management. Don't close out apps all the time. That's the worst thing you could do. Just leave them up and running. Let iOS do its thing in managing the apps. iPhone 11 go down $50 next year. Sure. I mean, that's what we expect, right? Year to year prices to go down. Tito says, went to T-Mobile, but I switched back to Verizon. I was lied to, and I feel like I was being discriminated against because I'm physically disabled. And I felt like the rep wasn't paying attention to me. Jeez, man. What a horrible experience. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Tito. Maybe it was just the store. Maybe you could contact the manager, see if you can go in there, and maybe they can compensate you for that bad experience, and they can kind of work with you to treat you better. Hideka says, do you think that once 5G becomes widely used, unlimited data will be the new standard by default? I mean, it would be pointless to keep 3 gigabytes. See, that's where I'm hoping it goes, Hideka. I really want to see, tiered data packages and gigabytes of bucket plans. Like, all that should be a thing of the past, honestly. And I actually, I want to see throttling removed. That's what I want to see. I'm sick of having my data deprioritized. I'm sick of having my video streaming stuck at 2 megabits per second that I can barely get 480p without buffering. I hate that. That's what I want to see change. All right, guys. So I've been on for an hour and 5 minutes. If you would like to cover any topics, ask any questions, please do get them in. I will be kind of transitioning away pretty soon. I'll probably be wrapping things up in the next 5 or 10 minutes. But if you have anything you want to discuss, anything to mention, please get that in the next few minutes here. Best time to get a new phone. As soon as you see a buy one, get one. That's always a good deal. Or if it's like gift cards, $200, gift cards, $300. Black Friday, there's always gift cards. So, check those things out. Freaky Giraffe says, what do you think about Google Fi? It's interesting, all the features, no roaming charges, built-in VPN, but I'm an iPhone user and those features are limited. If you're going to go Google Fi, I recommend a Google phone. That's really what it's designed for. So that's where I would go with that. If you're going iPhone, I can't recommend Google Fi because you can't really take advantage of all the features like you said. You know what? Adventures with Jordy, I think it's kind of been 50-50. I actually personally, my personal thought on it, I actually think the merger is a higher than 50% chance. I actually think it's closer to like 85%, 90%. Personally, I think if it goes to court, T-Mobile still has a very good opportunity there. I think a lot of more people are more down on it, and that's okay. This is how I feel about it, like the way it's played out. Hopefully that's fixed up, Gary. Hopefully it's worked itself out. Paul, it's got to be the iPhones, man. It's always the iPhones. They hold up the best. All right, Kev, you got it. Hey, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it again, man. Save yourself some money on the Visible service if you want to try an unlimited data plan from Visible. They don't pay me. I'm not affiliated. I don't get a commission. Go ahead and use that referral code there. Save yourself $20 on the Visible service if you want to try it out. It's definitely been something I've been endorsing because I've enjoyed it. You guys can check it out. Shadi, what's going on? Good to have you on. Thank you for stopping by. Will the new iOS 13 make your iPhone XR look and feel like the new one? Yeah. Yeah, it'll look and feel like the new one. That's the nice thing about Apple. They get those software updates in there completely rejuvenating your iPhone from yesteryear. The iPhone XR, the phone is barely even a year old, if that. It's going to get this new iOS and it's going to feel like a brand new phone. And it's a great piece of hardware. It really is very good. I wish they would let me buy the Poco phone. It's a cool phone. I like the idea of it. Wish it was more compatible with our networks. Craig says merger means more competition in regards to service. I agree. State attorney is only thinking about price. I agree. Sprint and T-Mobile combine to create better service 5G. I agree. Compete with Verizon and AT&T. I agree. Craig, you got comment of the day. Congratulations. Great comment. That covers everything with the merger. Nice job, Craig. Big shout out to Craig. I have the Apple Watch 1. Do I need to upgrade? Why or why not? I don't know if you need to upgrade. How much do you care about your watches? The Apple Series 3, the Apple Watch, is right now at $200. Might be a worthy upgrade. I'll be trying Visible after I get my phone unlocked. How do I switch data? I'm not sure what you mean switch data. What's up, Willie? What's happening, buddy? Glad you can make it. Thank you for being here. Jeremy's in the house, says, what up, Sneed? Have Cricket Wireless on the $60 plan. Data is always fast. Good. Glad it's working out for you. AT&T network is always strong. 55 uses 3G speed, 60 plan is unlimited. That $5 upgrade seems worth it to me. You know what, Pete? You're kind of right. How many apps are running with your location services? That's true. Sucks, Paul. It sucks. No 5G on iPhone 11. Yeah, it's a bummer, Brandon, but 5G networks really they're really not out there, right? Total wireless. Yeah, but it's Gary, it's good, man. I'm telling you, it's good service. All right, so Jeremy's getting one heck of a deal. iPhone 11 goes down $50 next year. Next year, wouldn't it go down $100? Probably. It would go down to like $599. Then the 10R would probably go down to $499. When does Cricket Wireless get 5G? No time soon. AT&T is not that type of company. They wouldn't give Cricket 5G. Sprint employee lied about my plan, ended up leasing a phone for 2 years and had nothing to show for it at the end. Jeez, man. Well, that's why the Sprint lease, like, you get this great plan pricing, but like you end up with nothing. Pretty sure Samsung has to give away their old phone from the previous year. I mean, you can get like a Samsung Galaxy Note 9 right now for like $300, or it's about $350, like in like new condition. It's amazing. Looking to go unlocked. Will I have all the network features like I think RCS, HD calling, and video calling? Depends on your service provider. Verizon does all of that. I don't know about AT&T, Damien. I don't know. I know T-Mobile does, as long as the device has all those things compatible. Gold standard when it comes to waterproofing. I think IP68 is good enough. IP68 gets you, you drop it in water. I think it's like a couple of meters for up to 30 minutes. IP68 is where you want to be. 67s, I don't trust it. IP69 is great, but I mean, how many phones have IP69? What's up, John? What's happening? You're not late, man. You're on time. You're good. Try invisible after I get my phone unlocked. Okay. Sneed, we doing a Sunday show? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section below, or if you're watching this on replay, or if you're in the live chat right now, let me know if you guys want to do a live Sunday show. If we want to do a podcast, we could do that. What's up, Daniel? Good to have you on. Man, I remember a basketball player named Daniel Manning. Good basketball player too. Just got here late to the stream. What's going on with the merger? We got a little bit of insight. We're trying to see the merger at a point where there's discussions between the states that are trying to block the merger, and then T-Mobile and Sprint. All right, so pro-merger, anti-merger, we're trying to get them in discussions. We want to see them engaging in settlement talks. The block is not having it. They are not engaging in settlement discussions. That's kind of the problem right here. That's currently where we are. In my opinion, AT&T is the best deal for pre-order iPhone. $300 gift card. I hear buy one, get one's on the way. So, even better there. What's up, Francis? Good to have you on, buddy. Freaky Giraffes. I'm currently iPhone, Verizon, looking to switch to T-Mobile. Should I switch now or wait until after the merge goes through? Switch now. If you want something, switch now. How is VR revolutionizing mobile world? Virtual reality, I'm not really big on it, but I know that it's, an entertainment form, Never again sneed on the BOGO. Got stuck with S9 Plus on the BOGO with Samsung and T-Mobile, but love my Note 9 and the S10 Plus. Those are good phones. The HTC device, for sure. I do like their VR. Apple's business model, they're successful. If I owned stock in Apple, I would be happy. I'm not a fan of the Apple Store. It's just too crowded. They need 2 Apple stores in every town, honestly. What's up, Rafi? Good to see you still here, man. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, Craig, you're the man. Thank you. $5 for Craig. Sure. Yeah, man. Why not? You know what, K-Deuce? I don't know much about those phones. I wish they had more compatibility in the U.S. We could use them. Paul says, who, in your opinion, is making the most progressive changes in the mobile world? I don't know, man. Progressive changes. Maybe OnePlus, in terms of just innovation and price point. They seem to be doing a lot for customers, giving them a lot, to love. Huawei does quite a bit with camera technology and Android. I don't know. That's a tough question to ask. It is. It really is impressive. What exactly is Cricket? That's AT&T's prepaid sector. Oh, one data at a time. That sucks. Do you have a link to contact the New York State Attorney General? I forget her email address. God, man. Maybe just search Letitia James' email and that'll pop up. But I would definitely email her for sure. Maybe I'll do a video emailing her. What's happening, Jono? Good to have you on. 5G is a scam. It will never take off and you're wasting your money. Paul, I don't know how old you are, Paul. Something tells me I'm older than you. And because I'm older than you, I have seen what has happened with LTE. And 5G is going to be like LTE. Within the next 5 years, we will see tons and tons of 5G coverage. LTE will still be important, but you will be connected to 5G a lot if you live in a market that supports 5G. So, yeah, you could make the argument 5G is a scam now, But you cannot make the argument that 5G will not be ubiquitous in 5 to 10 years, just like LTE. Jeremy says AT&T will be having 5G next year. Looking at middle of the year, mid 2020. Everything about Sprint is why they're falling. Yeah. Do we have aggression? No, Paul. No aggression in the chat. It's not really that kind of channel. We don't really fight or argue here. We debate. We discuss ideas. Best deals on phones at the moment. Good question. I would say, like from a carrier or like I don't know, like Sprint has good deals on phones. They always do. Verizon occasionally does buy one get ones. Apple's doing some good trade-in stuff. Maybe it got delayed. Sup, Brav? Going to have to go. My apps are downloaded right now. I install Resurrection Remix. All right, man. Get that thing in the fridge. Freaky Giraffes is all about the Sunday show. All right. Could do a Sunday show. Hey, Troy, what's going on, man? I love that photo, Troy. Love me some sea turtles, man. Ooh, iPhone 11 or 10R in 2019. All right, Whiplash, I have to ask you. Are you choosing between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 10R? Or do you have an iPhone 10R and you're thinking about upgrading to the 11? If you have the 10R, do not upgrade to the 11. If you're choosing between an 11 and a 10R as new, if you have $700, get the 11. If you have $600, get the 10R. What are your most wanted Android features? What about iOS features? Most wanted Android features. Well, I kind of got it with the dark mode. Like the complete dark mode that's built into the UI. I want to see enhanced Wi-Fi and LTE handoff. I want to see that improve. And I want to see better RAM management from Android. Honestly, those are my big ones. The LTE and the Wi-Fi are fine on Android. With iOS, I want to see the same things from Android, that Wi-Fi to LTE handoff. And I also want to see more power when it comes to like video rendering and video editing with iOS. I feel like they should be doing better with that. One of the reasons why I prefer Android is I really do like editing on Android, honestly. I like the concept of the SE2, really. I like if they go edge-to-edge display like the new design language, I like that concept. I really do. My phone's unlocked, invisible wouldn't take it. K-Deuce, they've only got certain ones that are working. All right, Paul, we'll be there Sunday, man. We'll be there. Will the Metro unlock by time work for visible? I don't know. Not sure about that. Rafi, of course. All right, if Rafi wants a Sunday show, we're going to have a Sunday show. All right, we got Paul. He wants to see it. We got Rafi wanting to see it. I know somebody earlier did too. All right, we'll do the Sunday show. I know, Troy, you're so right. She won't budge. I know. You got it, Paul, man. Appreciate you being here, man. Apple closed its stores in 2 locations. No kidding. Interesting. Paul, this is an easy one. It's the Note. Every year. Best display on a phone is always the Samsung Galaxy Note. Nothing's even close. Cricket is a sport. Thanks, Pete. Opinion on LTE tablets. They have their place. I personally go with LTE hotspots. So, I don't really see the need for myself in that application, but I'm sure for some people it makes sense. Is T-Mobile's Magenta Plus plan worth it? I travel a lot and the extra perks look nice. Try it. And if you end up using all the features, the answer to your question is yes. All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping up the show here in a minute. We've been on for about an hour and 20. Get those last comments and questions in before we kind of wrap things up. My dude, 267 Technologies. Big shout out to 267, guys. Check out his YouTube channel. Good dude making good content. Tells it like it is. No punches held. Good dude with a good channel. Definitely check him out. Friend of the show. Thank you for being here, bro. I'm glad to have you here on the show this evening. Let's see here. We got Rod's in the house. Says, have you noticed how Metro and Boost Mobile been getting the exact same phone models lately? Definitely a sign that the merger is going to happen, no matter what happens in the court case with the HE. But they've always been like that, Rod, honestly. They always, have similar stuff. How much would it cost per line if I have 6 lines on AT&T on unlimited more premium? I'm not sure about their current pricing. Actually, um, something tells me it's going to put you close. I don't know if they're still charging line access fees. I don't think they are, but that's going to put you at about $240 to $280 a month for those 6 lines. I would definitely go on to the AT&T website and check it out. I think it's like $85 or $90 for the first line. Then there's a discount for each additional line. So maybe the first line is 90, second line is 80, so that puts you at 170. Third line is 60, like that kind of deal. It might be like 280 or something like that. I'm not sure. But there's definitely better deals than what AT&T offers for unlimited plans, but they do offer great coverage and capacity. Hey, Troy, they got some good devices. Ideal amount of storage on a smartphone. If there's no expandable storage, the ideal amount's probably 128 gigs at least. 256 would be great. Will my XS Max work for Visible? Should. I believe all iPhones after the iPhone 6 should work fine. John says, spotted a couple Band 71 sites. Hopefully they bring more. All right. We need 100 likes on the Sunday show for a giveaway. Tell your friends. All right, there we go. You heard it from Pete. We're doing a giveaway if we get 100 likes on the Sunday show. But there's Sunday Night Football. I'll catch it, Jared. I'll find a way to make it work, man. Note or S-Line? Go with the S-Line if you want to save the money. Go with the Note if you're all about features and the S Pen. See, that's true. Pete's a business user. It makes sense for him to have an LTE tablet. That's very true. 3 Sunday, man. 3 p.m., man. I don't know. I'm watching football, man. The Browns are on. All right. So, all right, Paul. So I hit I don't know. I'm probably at about 5,200 or so subs. 5,300 maybe. I hit 5,000 a couple weeks ago. Romeo says it's like 80 to 100 for the data, $20 a line. God, man, it's terrible. So expensive. You want budget phones? Metro by T-Mobile is the way to go. They do give good deals on phones. Visible is Verizon's prepaid company. All right, guys, we are just about to wrap things up. What I would like you to do is, before you guys leave, please like this video. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to make sure you never miss an upload from the SMT, hit the notification bell, set to all, so you never miss anything from the channel. If you want to get more involved with the channel and the communities, we've got the Discord community. Check that out. It's in the description box below. Also, if you'd like to get more involved with the SMT Patreon page, you can consider making a donation there and getting exclusive access to unique videos that don't make it onto YouTube necessarily, as well as early access and some other perks that we have there on the Patreon. So you would be helping support the channel grow, helping support production, and then getting some perks in the process. Things like moderating status, as well as like access to the videos and early access to YouTube. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. Also, check out Rafi's little blurbs there where he's letting you guys know about the Visible deal where you can save $20 by using the referral code. So maybe check out that if you want to save some money. But other than that, I think that's really pretty much it. Check out some of the newest uploads from the channel. I did a piece today. Well, actually, the patrons have had it for weeks, but I just put it out to the public here on YouTube. Check it out. It's the history of the T-Mobile and AT&T merger fail from 2011. And really, it's also the reason that I feel that T-Mobile has succeeded as a company. So if you haven't watched that video, do check that out. Also, check out the most recent T-Mobile and Sprint merger update news. Check those things out. And of course, I've got a huge, expansive portfolio of videos that date back about 2 years. I mean, I cover everything. I try to offer you guys all types of content, all types of topic areas, and I cover all carriers. Not just T-Mobile, I cover Sprint. Not just Verizon, I cover AT&T. Not just TV, not just internet, not just wireless. I try to cover everything. Everything that I feel the consumer needs to know. I try to provide that, and I make the news available to you. So I want to give a big shout out to all those in the live chat. I want to give a big shout out to those on the replay crew watching this after the fact. I want to thank all of my moderators, Pete, Rafi, Jeremy, who's the most recent contributor to the channel and now a moderator, Matt Dubb for his PayPal donation, Jeremy for their PayPal donation, super chat, as well as anybody who provided a super chat. Thank you guys for those donations. You guys support the production here on the channel. I don't have corporate sponsorships. No company is paying me to say what I say, which is why I don't hold back and I try to tell you guys the truth and give you my unbiased and unfiltered opinion. I try to unveil the truth and try to keep the lying and the covering and the sneakiness out the way. So I want to thank you guys again for being here. Thank you guys for watching. All those that got involved with the show tonight. Jamaal, thank you for being here. I know it's a little bit late, but I do thank you for making it, stopping by and saying hello. Definitely check the replay out. Big shout out to the replay crew. Big shout out to Pete, all the contributors here on the channel, all my subscribers, all my viewers. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. I hope you have a great night. I hope you have a great weekend. Check us out on Sunday. We're going to go live again. We'll do the podcast. Join us there for that. And again, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching and supporting the SMT YouTube channel. I am the SMT, and I will see you guys on the next podcast and the next video. Peace.